Happy Thursday. I hope wherever you are that you and your loved ones are safe and well, that you're having a good week and a good day. I am in a different location. It's a very exciting new hallway in my apartment. This week, I was going to save the topic that I wanted to talk about until November for Color the World Orange for CRPS, but I thought Facebook memory came up and I thought, no, I don't want to wait till then. I want to address it. There's this wonderful post by another person that has RSD, CRPS, and they write in great detail about what their experience living with this disease is like. And it's, when I read it, I share it every year because I think it's very powerful. It's horrifying, but it's very powerful. And I feel like I need to read that to reconnect with other people's experiences and share it, because I feel like the more we educate people about what this disease is really like, then it's not an unknown, or not as big of an unknown, even though it's been documented since the Civil War and before that. It's still not as widespread, there's not this widespread understanding of it. So anyway, I always share it and I reread it and I can disconnect from it, like I'm reading this other person's story and it has nothing to do with me. But then the similarities between their story and mine, it starts to resonate, and then I think, oh man, I have that. That's my story. Not in the same way, but in some ways, yes. And so the way my RSD has morphed since 2003 is tremendous. When I was diagnosed, it was only in my left foot, and then it spread up to my left knee, and then I went into the hospital to get an epidural done to help my left leg situation in my foot, and I developed it in my right hand on a right arm because I had a bad IV. It was done very badly, and I should have advocated for myself more, but could, woulda, shoulda, what can you do? Then my left side of my face, and I can't quite remember if it affected my right leg or arm first, because that's more recent. But then I had to get the pump, and I went in to have back surgery because they couldn't place it before they repaired my back. And then I developed arachnoiditis, and so, that's fun. And so now it's, spread all over my body, and back then it was only in one spot. Now it's everywhere, and then there's the arachnoiditis and the carpal tunnel and orbital tunnel or cubital tunnel, and the situation with my knees and the other stuff going on in my back, and it's just like, it's a lot, but it's changed. And so I can appreciate the good and the bad, pre-pump, post-pump. Not long into my journey, my immobility was very depressing, and it affected me. And at one point I was 50 pounds heavier than I am right now, which did not help anything at all. And I don't care what any specialist says to me. I know for a fact that having 7 years of morphine in that pump helped me post-pump, because I feel like it did something good for my nervous system to quiet some things down in a way, not turn them off because there's no cure for this, but to tone it down. And I think, I don't know, I know my body and I know what I feel, and so them telling me that's not possible, well, guess what? A lot of things aren't possible, and yet they are. So there we go. Anyway, so yeah, my story is so, it's very much like other people's stories, and then we hear from people that are diagnosed that have a completely different experience. Their origin story is different. A lot of nurses that I have come across that have it, it started in their feet, just like mine did, with spurs, and it's like, the stories are so similar. It's maddening, because it's like, oh my gosh, how did this happen to you and me and her and him? And it's crazy. And all the issues in my back, and I think of how things are different now. My mobility is completely different. I was walking with a cane. I relied on that cane, and then over the years I relied on it not just for mobility. I started to rely on it when I needed it less and less for mobility, but I still kept it because I felt like it kept my left side safe, and like there was like sort of a built-in alarm for people, like, oh, don't get too close to her, she's got a cane. But then I felt like I was using it as a crutch and not for mobility. And when you have an injury to your feet, your knees, your legs, whatever, I don't think people always realize how that really affects the rest of your body, because your body dynamic changes, your the way you move, and so that's part of the reason I started having problems in my right side, because I was, limping and then walking so heavily, relying on different muscles, and it just had a degenerative effect on my right side, and so when I finally got rid of the cane, I don't remember what year that was, I felt scared to walk without it, but I felt like it was freeing in a way, because I felt like I was getting rid of excess weight in a weird way, and taking back a little bit of myself, which was nice. And so I always think of like pre-pump, post-pump. I look at pictures of myself back then, especially when I was as overweight as I was, and I feel like I'm looking at a different person, because I feel like I'm looking at a much older version of myself, believe it or not, in a weird way, because I feel like that pain back then was such an emotional and physical anvil on me that it's hard to explain, but I look at myself and I'm like, it looks like me, but it doesn't look like me. It looks like my older, I don't know who it is, like my older doppelganger or something. And I just kind of look miserable, and I was. And so that's an accurate picture. But yeah, so it's been a weird 18-year journey, and I can't believe it's been 18 years. And I think about it, and it's like, geez, in December will be the anniversary, I guess the 18th anniversary of when I had my foot surgery, and that had to happen. And it's a lifetime. It feels like, how can it be that long, But anyway, so when I read other people's stories, and it always breaks my heart when someone asks, does RSD spread? My doctor says it doesn't. It does. It does spread. And, even now, I feel like I know so much about my own body and my own disease and my own processes. But things surprise me. And like earlier in the week, I started getting, it feels like a match sensation, like somebody's holding a match against my left ear. I've never had that before. Any left-sided of my head issues have always been contained in my scalp and my face. How fun is that? But never my ear. And so that's been painful. And the other thing is my back, which we all know how great my back is so knotted from top to bottom, just solid muscle knot. But never before have I felt on the skin above those areas, like the skin has never been painful to the touch. It's not just like when you touch a knot in somebody's back and they're like, oh, it's contained to the knot. This is a surface burn, and it almost feels like stings. So that's new. I have never had stinging sensations, especially across such a wide piece of real estate like my back. And so that's kind of scary and very painful. And I tried to put my lidocaine ketamine lotion on, and I can't do it quickly because that hurts more. So I just do it carefully, and then trying to lie down on it. Clothes haven't been so bad. It's when I sit back against something or I lie down on my bed. My back is keeping me up at night, but I started taking the medical marijuana again at night, and I think it helps my body quiet down enough that I can, I don't know, almost get settled, but not, quite sleep. But getting settled is better than not doing anything. So I'll take it. And so, it's such a weird journey, and I look back, and some of it I think is like, wow, has it been that long? And other times I'm thinking like, it feels like a blink of an eye, or it feels like somebody else's life, or wait, no, it's very hard. And I think I block a lot of it out because I don't want to think about it. I can't focus on the past because it's done and I can't change it. So I can only work on today and tomorrow. And maybe that's a weird way to look at it, but that's what keeps me going. And so, yeah, so I'm going to share that in my blog tomorrow. I don't think I'll be able to share it in the video description. So, you know, check on the blog page, and I will definitely share it. The author of the post said it's perfectly okay to share. They encourage people to share it. And I would say, like, tell your stories, whatever the situation is. Every single one of us, not just health related, every single one of us has a story to share. We're all living chapters of our own lives, and they're not the same as everybody else's. And you never know if something that you're sharing is going to make a difference for someone else. And so I strongly believe that. And if I can help one person feel less alone, then I have, that's a gift that makes me so happy, because I wish I had had that when I was first diagnosed, because it was very lonely. It's like being shoved out onto an island and everyone being like, yeah, good luck, you know, but we don't know what's wrong with you, bye. You know, and I don't want that for anyone else. And so, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, because I could just keep going on and on, but let's not. I hope wherever you are that you are having a low pain, no pain, low aggravation kind of a day, kind of a week, kind of a weekend, because that's what we hope for, that's what we deserve. I will see you tomorrow via the blog, next week for another video. And that's all she wrote. Have a good day. Bye.